You're watching the evolution of the giraffe, and I am your host, Tenille Brown. We are here with author Pascal ARCHIMEDE. Welcome, Pascal.
Thank you.
With all of the excitement of your new book, I'd like to say congratulations. What is your educational background?
I've got a professional master's in educational sciences with a specialty in adults training. So I've been an ESL trainer and English as a second language trainer for more than 15 years. I even wrote down a book entitled Music in Professional Language Training, which is a method, a language teaching method that I created. I'm also a translator, French-English, English-French. And I also hold a master's degree in English with a specialty in American civilization. Very soon, I focused my research on the link between the evolution of black people on American soil and the types of music that they created. And this research resulted in my second book, which is entitled Black American History, From Plantations to Rap Culture, which explores black American history through the various types of music that they created, from work songs on plantations to rap music today.
Very good. And you are also a journalist.
Yes, indeed. I've been working with a black-owned French-speaking media company called Nofi. Nofi is the contraction of Noir et Fier, which means black and proud, and we are promoting black culture all around the world. So what do I do for Nofi? I write down articles in French and in English, but I also give the floor to French and English speaking members of the community. So among the English speakers, I had the opportunity to interview actor John Boyega, actress Jada Pinkett Smith, or even the cast of the movie Black Panther. And more recently, I had the opportunity to interview Dr. Uma Johnson, who is a Pan-Africanist and a school psychologist.
In the intro of your current book, you state that you've gone through three main steps as a result of rejection: servitude, segregation, and confinement to ghettos. How do you identify with these three social setbacks presently?
So you're right, I made a reference to servitude for me, which was the first step. When black people arrived on American soil as servants, indentured servants, and when they got enslaved, so roughly from 1619 to 1865, when slavery got abolished. Then after, you had segregation, so from 1865 to 1960s, when they got freed, but sidetracked from social, economic, and cultural life of the country because of the Jim Crow laws, which enforced racial segregation, and now confinement to ghettos, which is what many of our brothers and sisters are experiencing today. So today, you've got more and more black people who are part of the middle class and upper class. But the racial segregation is more present today in housing, because even if today different communities work together, they are less likely to live in the same neighborhoods. And of course, statistically speaking, it's been shown that black people outnumber all communities in US prisons. They've got less job opportunities. Black poverty rates are more than twice as high as white poverty rates. And of course also, black people are more likely to suffer from police brutality.
Talk about the evolution of rap culture as you know it. Who was your favorite rap group?
So, you know, in the 1990s, I was in my 20s, okay. So I'm kind of old school. And of course, for me, the first one who comes to my mind is the one I put on the cover of my book.
Tupac.
That is to say Tupac, because for me, he was one of the best lyricists, and he was really the voice of the oppressed.
Very good. So now that we're talking evolution, today, who would you say is the best rapper right now?
Right now, You know, I'm still old school, so I love people like, I love Nas.
Okay.
I think Nas is a good lyricist. I like Jay-Z also. Jay-Z is not too bad. Yeah, okay. I like his style.
In terms of being a storyteller, who would you say overall best storyteller of all times?
Tupac, of course.
Still?
Yeah, still, of course. Yeah, of course, still Tupac.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, I like him because he's, to me, is a conscious rap artist.
Okay.
Yeah, he's promoting life. He's promoting positive. He's got positive messages.
How do you believe rap has evolved?
So, you know, when we get back to history, rap was born or appeared in the 1970s. In the 1970s, it was all about bragging, materialistic stories. Then after, when we switched to the 1980s, rap changed and was more protesting against the system, against the situation, and was denouncing the situation of black people in the US. Then we get to the 1990s. The 1990s saw the explosion of this type of music, and the music industry started investing a lot of money in this type of music, and then the messages changed.
What do you believe the message was in the 90s?
In the 90s, so they were still denouncing, but the messages were changing a little bit, because I don't know if you remember, but around 1987, 1988, you've got the gangster rap, in which, you know, they were describing the gloomy everyday life in the street.
I would say some of the boasting in the 90s.
Yeah, so, you know, things were changing, and then, so as I was mentioning it, the music industry started investing a lot of millions in this type of music. The messages changed also, so the message was darker, more, you know, more negative, like, you know, black on black crime,
okay.
More and more misogyny, you know, criticizing black women, and and of course drug usage, promoting drug usage. And so for some people, the radios and the big labels are responsible for this. But at the same time, you've got other people who say that those types of messages are a demand from the audience who are asking for that. But when you get to rap music today, you've got rap tycoons like T.I., like Jay-Z, or even like Diddy, who are encouraging the community to be financially independent,
right.
promoting black ownership and black entrepreneurship. So today, actually, the question that we need to ask is modern rap music used as an instrument of economic emancipation, or is it used to program the degeneration of our community?
You quoted J.H. Franklin's Slavery to Freedom on page 40. Why do you believe church and the black community are inseparable?
In the context of mass deportation and slavery, church was also a place that comforted, federated, and maintained social ties. What you need to remember is that going to church was one of the only way outs that our ancestors were allowed to. The building itself very often helped, because the church was also a school, so it was a way to enhance schooling, church enhanced schooling. And when we get into history, many people say that the civil rights movement would have never taken shape without the involvement of the black church.
So what's next for you?
So as music is my inspiration, I definitely think that my next book will be connected to music. The only thing is that for now I'm really busy, so I don't have time to sit down and work on it. But of course I will keep on writing articles, and I hope keep on interviewing and giving the floor to members in the community.
And how can we find you on social media?
So you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Facebook, and you can also find me on Twitter, Pascal ARCHIMEDE, Pascal, and the last name ARCHIMED for David E.
You're watching the evolution of the giraffe, and I am your host, Tenille Brown. It is my hope that after watching today's episode, you feel inspired and engaged.